Grandpa Bill.
He's a diehard.
All right. Yeah, it says live. And I have it on pause temporarily, just for a second. Okay, and then, all right, well, I guess we're gonna only be on YouTube and here. All right, go ahead and stop your screen share, Seth. We'll have to fix that restream later. So the next quick question then. So before I admit and we'll start, we want to slowly start rolling out like some Freedom Snap tidbits to let people know. I kind of want to announce a little bit for any kind of influencers or anybody that would like to be part of like a pre-launch or something to send us an email. Or should we hold that up until next week?
It's 6:06 right now where I am.
Okay. Oh, I guess we're already live here. Okay, guys, you know what? We're going to hold that off till next week. We're already live. So let's go ahead and we're going to admit. There we go, guys. Let's go ahead and we're going to admit. There we go, guys. All right, we got a full crowd here so far. Welcome, everybody. So we had a couple-week break. I know we had the 4th of July week last week. A lot of people reaching out to Seth really wanted to attend the Pineal Gland Coherence Meditation live. And unfortunately, well, one thing led to another, and people had prior commitments, so we held off the past 2 weeks, and we're back and joined together on this marvelous Tuesday. So for anybody that is new to our community, we hold these weekly coherence meditations every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Eastern. And my time zone, it's currently 3 p.m. Pacific here in Phoenix. We have our YouTube Cosmic Gaia community channel where we restream to, and we have all of our recordings on, and we have a private Zoom call that we have as our primary method of joining. So we may have a couple new people here.
Are we recording?
Thank you for joining. Yes, we are recording. And speaking of restream, well, I didn't. So restream, unfortunately, we are not restreaming today to Facebook. We need to reconnect, something going on with our restream configuration. I think it's actually Restreams IO, something going on there. So anyway, so today's subject is the pineal gland. So Seth, take it away, please.
Thank you, Greg. Yeah, thank you, everybody, for bearing with us. It happens from time to time. But before we get started, I want to talk a little bit about what coherence is, because you ask somebody, there's different definitions for different people. But in this context, what we're doing essentially within our own being, right, our human bodies, there is some kind of invisible, highly intelligent source of energy that is animating us. Our entire sense of self, you know, they call it electric personality. Everybody's got an electric personality. And we grow up in this world and we're taught to perceive things in a very limited way. And there's no problem with that. It's just the way it is. It's where we're at. But when we intentionally relax and we get into trusting whatever this intuitive, highly intelligent energy is that is allowing us to exist. And when we take our human awareness, we take our focus and we put it on this infinite intelligent source, we begin to start amplifying it in our own body. And so when you take your attention, you focus it on this invisible intelligence, and you feel your heart beating in certain parts. And that's what we do. It causes these internal glands, these organs, all the different things in us to begin to amplify their potential. First thing that comes into coherence is usually the heart and brain, and then gut. Some people might be a little different. Those are the three big areas. But when you get into a real place of peace, you trust, no matter what your life experience has been, no matter what you've been through, you've learned, or you have it within you to be able to trust life, no matter how it looks, no matter how it feels. And that's coherence. And tonight we're going to focus specifically on the pineal gland, because it's a gland that is so important in our bodies. It functions no matter what, every time, every day, every moment. It's alive. It's doing what it does, which is basically it controls circadian rhythms. During the day, it produces serotonin, and at night, it turns into melatonin, and it puts us to sleep. But when we begin to become conscious of the electric energy, the consciousness that is animating our being, and we focus it on the pineal gland, it's in the middle of the brain, between the back of your throat and the back of your head, closer to the center of your brain. You begin to feel that, and you start letting the pulse, your heart beat, and to say hello to this gland within you. The potential of it starts to become online. It starts to manifest in your body. And usually, one of the first things is an expansion of consciousness, right? It's there whether we perceive it or not. We're just choosing to get into a state of relaxed perception where we trust what is happening. And that's when it starts to work. And there's no limit to what it can do. I mean, there's a lot of people and studies that show that DMT, dimethyltryptamine, it's in the brain. It's like people use it as a psychedelic, but we don't need that because we produce it. So I just wanted to kind of talk about that a little bit, because it's really amazing to have a basic understanding of what we're doing, because what we're doing really is we're allowing what is to be amplified. We're choosing to become conscious of consciousness. And when we do that, and we get really good at feeling our pulse all over our body while we're in coherence, that's how the issues that affect the world don't affect us as much. And we're going to do the pineal gland next week as well, because it is something that is so profound. So, okay.
Hey, Seth, before you begin, you said last week, when you put attention on that which beats our heart, heals our wound, digests our food, keeps our cells from floating away into the cosmos. When you focus on that, it's waiting for you to focus on it so it can focus on us, right? Like it'll meet us, and all we have to do is reach out, right?
That's exactly it. I mean, again, like you think about what is this inside of us? People talk about the divine, or they have a specific belief system or whatever, and they're all welcome. But we're going beyond normal human comprehension. We are choosing almost to kind of get in like a primitive state. We're going to drop language for a little bit, and we're going to start to feel what it is that we all actually are. And when we do that, it's like you said, Louis, the divine, the most profound energy there ever could be, becomes conscious that we are conscious of it. And yes, it begins to meet us more. And that's when our possibility and our human potential starts to really happen.
So by doing this, you said we're creating almost spiritual, if not physical, neural pathways in our brain that makes it easier to do it. Like we're training our mind to tap in to that which we are and feel the oneness of that. And when we do that, magic happens.
Yeah, we're overcoming the socially engineered self, you could say. And again, don't judge it. It's not separate. There's nothing wrong with it. It is exactly what it is. But we know that there's something more. Everybody knows it. Whether or not they choose to focus on it is up to them. It's their choice. Here, what we're doing, we're choosing to focus on it. And all it is a habit. You get used to it. You keep doing it. And instead of all the neural architecture that has been built in our brain and our body from society, from all the things we've learned in that, we are intentionally creating new neural networks, neural architecture with the love of our heart, feeling that pulse inside of it, focusing our mind on the infinite of life. I mean, it is in us, it's around us. Most don't see it, but from a common sense perspective, it's really the only thing going on, right? I mean, what else is happening? So why are we not seeing it? Doesn't matter, because now we're here and we're choosing to see it. So wherever you guys are, just relax. Let your seat, your chair, your bed, wherever it is that you are, just totally relax into it. Shut your eyes. Breathe very gentle. Inhales. Exhale. Just do it intuitively. Find a space where it's just easy to breathe in, breathe out slowly. Take your awareness, allow it to be exactly where it is. If it's in your head, let it be there. If you feel it in any other part of your body, focus on that. This is life. This is the real deal. It is a living, self-aware, intelligent field. It's a field of electricity, of bioluminescent energy that, when focused on, creates a ripple in time, you could say. We are choosing to overcome the limitations of all that we have perceived before by trusting what is here now in our bodies, in our organs, and wherever it is that you're focused, a little smile on your face. You're breathing gently. You're relaxing. That little smile, so that you can remember joy or happiness or whatever it is. So wherever your attention is, in or around on your body, let it go right into your heart. Focus on the middle of your chest, internally, almost exactly in the middle of your body, between your chest and your back. Keep breathing really slow, really gentle. Let that little smile just ripple across your face, your neck, your shoulders, your chest, your torso, your arms, your hands, your pelvic floor, your legs, and your feet. Relax even deeper. Let your entire being just totally relax and synchronize to your breathing. So as you're feeling the inhale of air coming into your lungs and into your body, you're happy for it. As you exhale, you trust that life is exactly perfect in your own life. So as you're feeling the energy in your chest, let yourself be aware of the middle of your brain. And if you can feel the pulse of your heart in the middle of your head, do that. Let yourself feel it. It is so simple. Not everybody can do it, and that's fine, but everybody can learn to do it. And you get really good at feeling your pulse anywhere in your body. You are bringing your attention, you're focusing it with the divine, with the quantum field, the energy that animates your being and that gives birth and death to universes. You are focusing on that inside of you. You're trusting your own creative capacities. Even though you can't see, hear, or feel beyond your limitations, you know that you're capable of it. And if you can feel your heart and brain connected together, talking to each other, sharing energy, information, and if you can feel the pulse of your heart and that little smile where you remind yourself to choose to love that which you are, that is what everything is. The reality is there are no limitations. There is no disconnect between who and what you are and what you have the potential to be. All it needed is a little bit of your focus, a lot of your feelings to feel your heart beating, to feel what that smile on your face represents, and then the focus of it. Just totally let yourself relax. Allow whatever it is that you're feeling and experiencing to be your focus for now. Your heart and your brain are in coherence with each other. you can feel the connection. While you're focused in the middle of your brain, allow your consciousness to just drop right into your stomach. There's no right or wrong way to do this. It simply is intentional. And if your consciousness was in your stomach, almost like if your head was in your stomach and you could see out of your belly, you could hear in that area, you can feel what your body feels like as it digests this reality. Now take your attention and put it back into the middle of your brain. Keep breathing gentle, rhythmic breath. Getting so calm that you can literally begin to feel your pulse in the middle of your head. From the back of your throat to the back of your head, take your attention and focus it there to the best of your ability. And if you can feel your pulse in this area of your brain, closer to the middle of the brain than above your head, keep your focus right in this spot. Just be behind the throat and the back of the head. Everything that you do every day in your life is a direct reflection of how you have come to evolve as the person you are, as the being you are, with your body as it is, with your higher discerning trust, to trust that the intelligence of your body is so intelligent that it will do what it knows how to do, whether we are paying attention to it or not. And so to pay attention to it, it's to make a decision. It's to choose that you, at this point in your life, are ready to begin to understand and experience and know the greater capacities of this already great intelligence that we all are. If it knows how to keep your body functioning, whether you are conscious of it or not, that is an intelligence that is worth paying attention to. And if you can feel your pulse, let yourself feel it. And let the feeling of that pulse in the back of your throat, in the middle of your head, just behind it, trust that it knows exactly what it's doing. And you can give a little hello to your pineal gland. You can say hello just by a little tiny smile. Let it know that you are choosing to give attention to this part of your being. Relax even more. If you feel any tension or resistance anywhere in your body, just let yourself relax that. You can breathe into the tension, or you can simply just let it go. Whatever works for you. We find balance in our lives in a way that feels like it's in between polarities of north and south, right or wrong, black or white, all the different polarities that exist in our day-to-day lives. So much of that is regulated with this one plan. It literally creates the polarity of sleep and awake. When you awake in the morning, after you've been sleeping all night, it's your pineal gland that is giving this message to the rest of your nervous system. And at night, as you start getting more tired, that same hormone, that serotonin, begins to shift into metabolites, melatonin. And the more present you are with this, while at the same time being relaxed with it, you're offering yourself the ability to amplify the healing potential and power of this part of your being. Start to create balance inside, and we learn to calm down and to trust more in the process of life instead of stressing out or worrying about it. We are sending powerful messages to all the cells of our body, to the energy field that is lighting our body up, and to this source of divine consciousness that is allowing us to be in these bodies. You are prioritizing your relationship, your connection with life, and you're letting your body feel that you're conscious of the energy that is causing you to live. Keep breathing, keep relaxing more. Keep your attention focused right in the back of your head. Just keep your attention there. Just relax even more. It's like a bright, relaxed feeling. It's both totally illuminated and totally dark at the same time. It is you creating balance inside of the polarities of your own being. You are literally bringing a greater flow of life force energy to this point in your head. And as you feel your pulse in it, or just simply allow yourself to love this area, know that as you trust, your entire body begins to trust the input you're sending to it. Your body responds because it knows you're giving it attention. And it's been waiting to have your attention since you came into this world. Because all the limitations that we've ever been conditioned to focus on, they're not even there. All they are is simply energy patterns that have been concentrated and focused on without the consciousness of what it is that's focusing on it. You aren't just who you think you are. You more fully are that which everything truly is. The eternal pulse of light, the eternal pulse of darkness. We are everybody and everything that has ever been, and we are in these bodies with an opportunity to synchronize who we think we are with that which we always will be. The more relaxed you get, the more you choose to love your body, to love your personality, to love all the stories that you tell yourself. To love the latent potential that you are. Your body knows when you're giving it attention. When you give attention, that place where you're focused will become amplified. It will increase its informational capacity to expand and contract. And you, as the observer of your own life, get to watch, feel, experience your own evolutionary growth. You are choosing to align your sense of self with this infinite quantum field that everybody and everything always has been and always will be. And you're choosing to allow a new sense of self develop with greater capacity to perceive more of what it is that you always have been and will be. Take your attention, focus it right in that area where the pineal gland is. And as you're just letting yourself be focused in this one part, and feeling your pulse, or just the energy that it already is, that you already are. Same energy that brings life and death and renewal to universes. You are expanding beyond who you think you are into what it is you really are. Smile a little bit more. Let your entire body know that you are grateful. Allow your gratitude to be interwoven with your smile and whatever sensation that creates in your body. Everybody and everything is a miracle in action. And by slowing down and choosing to focus on the parts of your body that most haven't encouraged us to focus on, that is you creating a new image of life, one without the blind spots. An all-encompassing view of the self and the selfless nature that you are and that everything is. Take your attention now and allow yourself to feel your entire body. And again, there's no right or wrong way to do this. You're just choosing to, instead of focusing on your aches and pains, you're focusing on the glue, the fabric, the electromagnetic field of energy that is animating you. You are choosing to let who you are be an extension of what you are. And as you're focusing on your entire body, let your awareness expand. And if you can feel your heart beating, let that pulse of energy reverberate throughout your entire body and the energy field that's igniting it. And let that energy, let your focus of your pulse in and around your energy field, let that expand selflessly. Let it expand with so much trust that even if it felt like life was going to end right now, it's not. You're simply becoming conscious of the nature of your own awareness. And your choice to be conscious of it is to begin to know your own internal nature. To know that your own internal nature is just like the natural world around us. It's teeming of life. claiming the possibility. And all of it is a miracle. By you trusting and allowing the energy you are to just expand into infinity. At the same time, a more intuitive, a more instinctual, and a greater expansive recognition of how miraculous your own inner nature is. It's allowing you to create a new self. And smile to that. Because the beautiful part about it is it's not just you and the life force. It is you, that life force, and the remembrance and recognition that all of it is a miracle. And that when joined together, you and what you are, with trust, with love, you get to create yourself in the image of what you are. And you don't have to stop there. You can keep allowing your sense of awareness and your sense of what it is you're creating to go way beyond even your own perception. You trust so deeply in the pulse of life. It's allowing you to be here. That anything that could happen to you is going to be in a way that is perfect for you. And the more that you trust that perfection, the more development occurs. Just as life creates life, you create reality. You create your reality. And you create all of reality. And that one little plan in the back of your head is beginning to become a higher functioning amplitude. It's starting to really pulse with the beat of your heart. Your life knows that you're paying attention to it. And it wants to fill in the blank spots. It wants you to begin to remember why all of this is. It's the reason for everything. And it's happening to all of us, for all of us. Always smile and trust that the higher the amplitude of our energy field begins to become. Relax a little bit deeper. While you relax, while you're breathing deep, gentle breaths, feeling that pulse in you. Slowly take your hands, just put them much like in front of your face, lower, over your throat. Much like you're going to create a prayer, prayer hands in front of your face. we are always in a state of prayer. We are always in a position to recognize the sacred nature of our own being. Our body chemistry and nature, both in your body and around it, are always available, waiting for you to allow your consciousness to expand into it, and then allowing it to rest when it needs to. Keep your hands together. One last smile. Let the middle of your hands feel the smile that's on your face. Very gently begin to create friction in your hands, rubbing them together. Let it really heat up. Create heat. And then when you're ready, take your palms and put them over your eyes. Let yourself trust that your prayers are always being acknowledged. Let yourself trust that the pulse of life that has always been with you since you were born is always going to be with you unconditionally. And relax into that part of yourself that's unconditional, that's eternal, and that is the stuff that you create worlds with. Your world, our world. You're going to have your eyes open soon, but let yourself stay really relaxed. Through the core of your being, you're just relaxed. Gently allow your eyes to begin to open. You never left. You just simply became conscious. For those who want to stay relaxed, you can do that. If so, we'll see you soon. And for those who want to stay and ask questions or have any kind of dialogue, we can do that now. I got to show you guys. Let's see it. That's my kitty. She was sleeping right there while we did the whole thing. We're going to do this again next week. And we're going to go deeper into it. We're going to cause.
We could do an entire series.
Yeah, literally. And I would suggest that we did one on the pituitary gland, right, Greg? I don't remember when we did that one. It was
Certainly did.
Or the last one, right? Yeah. So the pituitary gland and the pineal gland are both in the center of the head. The pituitary gland is in the front of your brain, in the inner corner of it. And your pineal gland is in the back.
You
If
can
you-
see my image on the screen, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
I don't know how to, is it
Expand that. Yeah.
in that, or there we go, right?
Yeah.
Did
Yeah.
that show for you? Yeah, I was
That-
showing that earlier.
Yeah. See in
To
the
get some
little
Good
back of your
images
head.
together.
So where it says
Oh.
right here, supra, how does that say? Supra chiasmatic. Sorry, I'm not a doctor, but where it's showing that,
Chiasmatic.
okay,
Yep.
yeah, it's basically where the pituitary gland is, really close to the pineal gland.
So there are some pretty cool things that I've been watching the past several weeks, and one of them is well, as I'm browsing through Facebook and everything, it kind of reminded me. I get all these Facebook ads, but one of them is the Rewired series on Gaia by Dr. Joe Dispenza, and I watched that entire series, and I tell you, there's a wealth of information in there, but it also goes into various geometry aspects, and then a subsequent watching that I've been watching on Gaia is sacred geometry, and it goes into things like the Fibonacci and everything. But if you can imagine like the Fibonacci sequence or the drawing, like you can, the start of the Fibonacci is actually exactly where the pineal gland in the brain is located. And to further in the Rewired series, I forgot which episode, I'm trying to get some slides or some things together, because I think this is just a wealth of information for everybody to know. But Dr. Dispenza then goes into the I don't know what he calls it. It's like the cave of something, but the cave is basically that very little cave area, that empty area where the pineal gland is, and then there's the pituitary gland, and it's just where I guess you can imagine the pineal gland being the input, he says, and then the pituitary gland being the output. So as we have the serotonin, the melatonin, and between, I think he said between 1 a.m. and 4 a.m. is when the melatonin and the I guess the melatonin levels, or like you have the greatest thoughts or what have you, like during those periods of consciousness with your frequency. If you can imagine like the beta, the alpha, or the beta, the alpha, the theta, and then the gamma. Did I miss something there? Yeah. Okay. Delta, yes, delta. Okay. But being in the state of the theta, I guess between 1 and 4 a.m. is really the profound time to catch it. So it's really quite interesting, both of those series. So I definitely recommend those to anybody that would like to watch those.
I love him. I'm so grateful, that work is becoming public. All he's really doing is just getting us to be conscious of this energy.
Yeah.
And he's proving that when somebody keeps doing this over and over and over, they begin to experience states of consciousness that are not confined to who we think we are, to what we think life is. And oh my God, it's like all of the old Qigong from all the Taoist practices, all of the Buddhist and Indian practices of yoga, and these things are all showing the same stuff. And it's so beautiful because some people resonate with certain teachings and other people with others. But essentially, it's all the same lesson. It's just in a way that resonates with you or where you're at.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Hey, Louis, did you want to chime in? I saw your hand up.
Yeah, first of all, I wanted to acknowledge that, well, first of all, you, me, and Seth have been having a dialogue this past week on the nature of reality and how does of the infinite number of potential realities that we could be experiencing right now, we're experiencing this one. How did we get this one? And then when we start to really think about Joe Dispenza, who has his formula for reality production is clear intentions and elevated emotions, which to me is conscious thinking and directing your emotional energy to that which created us. And it's so willing to answer us and to reciprocate. But you're not asking us to do anything unique here, Seth. It sounds like you're just asking, you're inviting us to do consciously with direction and intention what we've unwittingly and unconsciously been doing all along, which is why we have what we have. So we were talking about 99% of the day, there's some sort of statistic out there where our mind is doing monkey brain. It's running matrix programs. We're unconscious. And so if we just took some of that 99%, which is probably responsible for what we have right now, because we're running programs given to us, indoctrinated into us, that you mention all the time, Seth, and to take some of that 99% and just start shifting it from sloppy, like irresponsible, unconscious thinking to conscious, responsible thinking. And this is how we create a new reality. So these people that are here are the beginner. I know there's been coherence meditations I've seen before online, but they do it once, twice a year. Our goal is to have, since there's 24 hours in a day and we have these time zones throughout the world, we're moving towards every hour there'll be someone on the planet doing a coherence meditation. So every hour it's like woo, woo, woo to the universe. That is how we change the world. And so we really want to spread this, folks. The Freedom Snap community is a community of conscious creators. And we're the beginning of it. And let's tell our friends, this is the most important message. What am I going to do? I'm not going to practice coherence and continue to be unconscious and let programs run my life, or am I going to take charge and coherence to merge with that which beats my heart? So I just wanted to say thank you, everyone, for being a part of this. We're starting something here, and that's what we think about.
Beautiful.
That is awesome. That is awesome and spot on, 100%. So yeah, I mean, as I've even been learning, the past several months a little bit more in depth on a lot of this stuff, just even learning some of these fundamentals that I've been watching too. Vibration, frequency, energy. So as we're all raising our vibrations and being conscious of that, we can attract what we are here as creators, been put on this planet in the first place. So if you can imagine, even, and I spoke to you, Louis, yesterday about this, we had, probably an hour and a half just discussing stuff, but imagine multiple timelines. So as you're raising your vibration, frequency, and energy, you can basically, like, you're pulling in whatever timeline that you would like to, hence manifestation. So if I'm on this timeline, I want to, manifest something, down here, I'm drawing that timeline into my energy and my focus. So it's truly amazing. And me now, I see that, like, this is needed for everyone. This is like the start of everything. This is like, if you're out in the world, you're in the corporate world and everything else, and you're being programmed into all that matrix thinking and everything else, like, well, take a step back, learn this, and you can do better to co-create in this life and to manifest your own reality and make it what you want. I mean, this is great.
Oh, like a radio station, like how the radio station
Perfect.
simultaneously carries all of the stations simultaneously. They're all existing in potential simultaneously on the dial, and all you got to do is tune that thing to decide what do you want. People don't realize they have the power. They have the divine. It's our greatest right, our greatest abilities to tune that thing into what we want to listen to. And so we have not been tuning consciously. We've just been letting our frequency running like a little dog in a room, tearing up the place, like pooping and peeing everywhere. Now we're going to train it. Now we're going to be the my in my mind. You know, why do they say my mind? Anything that follows a possessive part grammar is you own that. So my mind. If we don't make up our minds will make us up. All we're asking, and what Seth is teaching us here, is start becoming the my in my mind, and tell your mind what to think and what to focus on. And when it offers up a matrix tape loop from the past, kindly say, please be quiet. I'm going to choose to think this, and then feel the emotions without the story and clear them. This is just, that's all that's what you're asking us to do, right, Seth?
Well, that, and yeah, I'm asking everybody to do that, but also when we do it together, we get better and better at it. You know, I always try to, you know, a lot of people are like, oh, I'm going to build my energy field or light body. The reality is it's there anyway. So we're not really building it. We're becoming aware of it. And it's like this little spot between intensity and relaxation where that balance comes in. And if I'm doing that and you're doing that and a whole bunch of us are doing it, that's inspiration. You know, you're muted, Louis.
Isn't that exactly how we have the world that we have right now? But we just did it unconsciously. We were asleep to it.
And there's nothing wrong with that, right? Like a lot of people, the more people get into this us and them mentality, like a victim savior consciousness, you could say, the more we're not taking responsibility for how we perceive the world. Because if we're experiencing something that is less than optimal, that we're not really enjoying, or that is causing suffering, we can just relax. And I know all the experiences that I've had with however intense the situation is, how much I don't like it, the more I can just relax into it and feel my pulse literally in the situation, it just immediately corrects itself. My health. I mean, I had so many issues that I didn't think were ever going to go away.
You had to learn this literally to save your life, didn't you?
Yeah. Yep. And it took me like going to the edge of my life to realize what I had always known. You know, we were talking about this earlier. We all know this. When, like, as children, we are a coherent field in a body. Just nobody really gave us a frame of reference or a context to understand ourselves like that. It's there. We recognize it. There's something going on, but we get conditioned or funneled into a perspective of self and life that a little limiting, you know. There's nothing wrong with it. It's not like, oh, they did it. No, like, we have the ability to completely take responsibility for how we perceive our life experience in this world. And we do that with trust and faith and opening our heart to the recognition that we're even here, that any of this is happening. We begin to remember what's always been there. And as we become more wise, we have the ability to really just trust it even deeper and create a frame of reference that we can share with others. We're creating a context for the expansion of our own awareness, and we're sharing this together.
Would you say that as we foster and nurture and cultivate that connection, that experience of being connected with all that is, we become all that is? And it reminds me of a meme, a quote that I saw the other day. It said, I was praying to God, and I realized I was just talking to myself. So we can actually have access to the creative forces, like you said, that creates worlds, and a bunch of us doing it together. That's just going to raise the.
What is more interesting than that? Right? Like,
it's an experiment worth conducting. That's for sure.
Yeah. Does anybody have anything they want to share or ask or anything? It's okay.
So you mentioned, and for everybody else, especially for the recording, anybody watching this at a later time, you mentioned Freedom Snap, and people are probably like, well, what the heck is going on there? So we are collectively putting together this Freedom Snap community around different topics. First and foremost, we're starting here with the Coherence Meditations. We're building a social site. It's in the works. We have some graphics guys on it right now, and I'm building out like the infrastructure and everything. But the intent there is to provide a social community platform for everyone to join in on, and with like minds, non censorship free. So we have our own platform, and everybody in this world has knowledge that they want, that they can put out there in the world. It's a shame that most of the knowledge on this planet is at cemeteries.
It's that way. What if it's not?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, but like, just for people to have a platform that they can share their knowledge and, communicate with like-minded people and have the spirituality behind them, and, just get all the resources and everything they need. But also we're expanding into things like, networking with other people. You have a product or a service that you have, and let's say you're a farmer and you want to exchange some potatoes for something else, some services for somebody. Well, you can contact somebody else out there, and we're essentially trying to build like our own little like ecosystem. So there's no need to do some of this stuff out in the matrix world. So the
way that I would say it, in addition to what you're saying, is that we're building a community of people that, this platform, this Freedom Snap platform, will be infused with, and the characteristics with of the emerging paradigm, instead of being built off of the illusions and the values of the old paradigm. This one will be dripping with and infused with all of that stuff. And so you almost have to vibrationally tune into Freedom Snap. And those that do are our people, our kind of people that will be self-governed and self-directed and responsible and come on. And they're all, when you got a community of people that understand the interconnectedness of between everything and everyone, how can you harm another individual ever again? And so that's what we're attempting. That's what we would desire, to attract our people like that.
Exactly. So people have the ability also to go on there. They can create their group. They can create their own courses, like in a learning management system type deal. So if anybody out there is listening to this, would like to join the community, become part of that, even especially during our maybe pre-launch, maybe we'll call it, or we might just go knee deep and just step right into it, but feel free to email us at hello@freedomsnap.org. So Louis, you said interconnectedness, and it's kind of funny. I have a document pulled up over here to my left that as we're developing Freedom Snap and everything, I created a foundation called Osmosis Foundation. And I'll read just 2 paragraphs off of this really quick. So as I'm trying to formulate different, or come up with different ideas for the actual foundation name, getting some things I'm putting together. So the word cosmosis, did I say osmosis? So this is spin-off of osmosis. So The word cosmosis is not a commonly used term in esoteric or spiritual circles. And it is not generally associated with any specific esoteric meaning or practice. However, the word cosmos itself is often used in esoteric and spiritual context to refer to the universe or the totality of existence, and it can represent a sense of unity and interconnectedness. In some esoteric systems, the cosmos is seen as a living, conscious entity, and the process of cosmic evolution is seen as a spiritual growth of growth and transformation. The term cosmic consciousness is also used to refer to a state of heightened awareness and spiritual realization, in which an individual becomes attuned to the interconnectedness and unity of all things. So while the specific term cosmosis may not have an esoteric meaning, it is possible to interpret it in a spiritual or esoteric context as a process of harmonizing with the universe and achieving the state of unity and interconnectedness. Interconnectedness. That's what we're here for, right? So anyway, that's the foundation name. And we do have the unique ability to provide certain things outside of the matrix as a form of the laying out this entity structure and everything. So don't need to get into all that detail, but it's really profound. It's a lot of work that we're putting into Freedom Snap, guys. So we'll also have a cool app on the phone, so everybody can use their phones and tablets and everything else. It's going to be great in the coming months, guys. So I'm really looking forward to this.
So I just wanted to say in closing, I remember when I studied Abraham by Jerry and Esther Hicks, all these live events they would do, people would come to the live events and they would ask very similar questions. And the response was always the same. Abraham would say, well, first get into the vortex and then see because if you're not handling your state first, then you're going to get a different quality of answers and you're not going to be able to see things that you would be able to see if you were coherent. So to me, the practice of coherence is very similar to getting into the vortex. So if we understood that, then it's the most important thing that we could be doing, by my experience. Like, everything stems from the state that you're in when you go to launch anything in this physical reality. So you might as well master cultivating that state and see what comes up distinct from when you weren't in that state. So we have a very strong motivation here to spread this and to grow this, and someone's got to do it, so here we are.
Hey, we're manifesting our own reality, right? We're putting it out there, so we're getting everybody together. So it all starts with here. Anybody else have anything to add in? Just feel free to unmute and chime in. Otherwise, next week we'll still do another pineal gland session, and maybe I'll have like some images and slide deck or some kind of little clip it. If we do, by the way, we spoke about this prior to the session here, Seth and Louis. If we do, we might actually have maybe 10 or 15 minutes prior to going live on Facebook and YouTube to provide some, private stuff on the Zoom call. So anybody listening to this, if you are interested in joining our live Zoom calls, please check out freedomsnap.org/Seth. There's also a button there to add your email address to our mailing list, and you'll certainly be able to or be notified on everything Freedom Snap related.
So Greg, as this develops, as the Coherence Meditation develops, as the Freedom Snap develops, you're going to be putting out feelers for anyone who wants to come in and join the administrative process or to take on tasks to help grow this community. That's coming down the pipes too, right?
Absolutely. So it's a collective effort. It's not one corporation. owning the thing. So, censorship is not an issue. Not like a Google or a YouTube or anything. So absolutely.
Okay. It's run by real humans, not robots.
Exactly. All right, guys. Well, thank you very much. And we will see everybody next week.
All right. Thank you.
Bye-bye.